So they
Yeah.
released this table, and you can see how it just jumped here in
Yeah.
2024 from 15,000 to
Hmm.
90,000. And they were projecting this and they hit it. This is where they are right now, if not even higher.
Probably
This is
higher.
Tesla. This is not XAI, who's
Mhm.
already working on their 200,000. And then also, some people are saying that Tesla could actually make use of the XAI chips that they're using. So
Mhm.
tell me more about those questions.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, on that note, November 15th was the day that it was hitting the wire saying that Tesla's actually going to train FSD with some collaboration on XAI. And
Yeah.
November 15th, of course, correlation doesn't equal causation. But if you look at the move that Tesla's had since that news has come out, it's quite big. Now, of course, I'm not saying that's all attributable to that, but there's a degree of XCI is a strategic benefit to Tesla to be able to garner more chips, whether it's purchasing power, whether it's shared compute, shared intelligence. This is what allows Tesla to lead. Now, if you look at the list of AI companies, if you want to call it quote unquote, right, out there, Tesla is really the only one focused on real world AI. If you talk about hyperscalers like AWS or Google's cloud, these are digital AI companies that are trying to do VR, AR through Facebook, or to have shared compute online through AI training. But Tesla is really the only one focused on real world use cases. Autonomous driving is a huge one, of course. Bots another big one, being able to train that. And if you look at mapping this out for the next 10 years, I mean, someone replied to my tweet this morning on talking about this and saying, well, NVIDIA's focused on bots and stuff, maybe to a small degree, but no one is focused on scaling real world AI to the degree that Tesla is right now. On Dojo and on AI training, remember there's training and then there's inference, right? And for training, I mean, or training, we all know Tesla, like NVIDIA is killing the game there. Dojo may help, of course, but Dojo is kind of a backup for now, and they could scale up to end of 2025 and make it meaningful. Actually, even a hot take I think is Dojo could even be spun up as a chip business for other auto manufacturers. If Tesla didn't want to license FSD for whatever reason, they could sell their Dojo chips as a specific training chip to other auto manufacturers. But if you look at inference, right, Tesla's models, they're very dense. Like these are videos that are being compressed, and then they're turning into driving commands at the end of the day. And so being able to take all of that and then operate it, I think, on a 300-watt computer or whatever, and whatever memory they have, small little memory on the car itself, it is a huge problem for a lot of auto manufacturers. And it's a challenge, let's be honest. It's not easy. So what Tesla is solving for is not like, hey, let's just spin up an AWS type of business with Dojo and let other companies do AI training on our infrastructure. No, they're trying to train on these video models, compress them down, train them, turn them into driving commands, and then inference them onto small little chips on your computer, or on our computer, aka car. And so one day that'll turn into the bot. Today that's the car. The possibilities are really kind of endless here.
Oh, yeah. Actually, it's all coming together now, right? You're painting a really good picture. So, number one, Tesla has the largest supercomputer in the world. They've got 100, close to 100,000 NVIDIA chips now. I think we're seeing that the six fans are starting to turn on in the Tesla Cortex. They're using XAIs. They're heading to 200,000, and then they're going to be B200. So if we carry it over, where are we going to be the last half of this year, 2025? Where are we going to be? And so that you've got Dojo coming online, and so that could be just more chips, right, and cheaper margin wise, more compute that Tesla can do. So they're already so far ahead in compute. No one's going to be able to catch them anymore because of how quickly they can implement and create superclusters. But now they've got their own chip. Then they've got AI5, which is a leap in inference. They're already the leader in inference. I don't think anybody's challenging them. Inference is how quickly, efficient, and how speed that it can, as how small the chip can be at the device level, right? The car or the bot, how quickly. And they need to make millions of those. And Tesla's doing it. They've got that. I think, right? NVIDIA and Jensen has said that inference is going to be 1 billion times larger than what it is now. Like it's going to be the thing. They're trying to get into it, but Tesla's leading. Like it's gonna eclipse the what you're seeing now with Nvidia because of the training chips. Eventually, it's going to be the inference chips that matter more. That's what he's saying. Um, and so that's coming online, AI 5. And so if Elon can see AI 5 coming in the second half of next year, and like you said at the very beginning, the way you set it up was he can already see that the compute and the data that they've got with all the cars and the bots is going to just accelerate real world AI with real dollars. So it's all coming. That's what's happening.
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit more to
And
that? Yeah.
yeah, and what we've learned from this is companies that operate in singular dimensions in terms of competition, like they're the only company doing this sort of stuff, garner a massive premium. There is no second to Tesla, right, in public markets on training on driving data and turning that into
Right.
FSD. So when you have no competition, you're the only play in town, and so you get a premium for that. And this is where the debate of valuation comes in. Well, if you DCF and what does it equal? Yes, we can
Yeah.
talk about that. Investments are done on NPV, net present value of future cash flows, but there's undoubtedly an increase in premium, a multiple, if you want to call it, on companies that operate in their own league, and that's where Tesla is currently. Now, of course, like another thing to talk about here is, the training that Tesla is doing on their superclusters right now. One day, that same infrastructure, those same chips will be then used to inference on, right? Because as you get better chips and you train on better chips, well, where those old chips go? Well, you can inference on them. And so there's a degree of washing out in a cycle here that can happen.
Mhm.
If you talk about XAI and them getting B200s next year, once they're done training on that, maybe they'll sell those over to Tesla. There's a degree of supply chain here as well.
Yeah, that was a mind blowing thing to me that I had heard for the first time with talking to Brian Wang, and it sounds like other people are saying the same thing. That if XAI is already now headed into their 200th H100s, but they're going to start implementing B200s by March, which is like several months from now. Those H100s are already being used by Tesla's FSD, and then they can actually just even use more of it. Like basically, like you said earlier, like Tesla's going to work very closely with XAI, and they don't even need to take them and implement them in Tesla's headquarters. They can just use them.
I'm not sure entirely how they would train on it in Memphis, but
Mhm.
yes, there's the possibilities are here. And then also, if you talk about XAI and it's kind of like OpenAI. Microsoft owns OpenAI technically, and Microsoft gets a
Yeah.
premium for that. But if you kind of look into the partnership